All right, we'd like to welcome you all to Transform You, where we do live coaching. And today we have Giovanni Elliott. So, Giovanni, welcome. We'd love for you to introduce yourself and tell us what you would like to work on today.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me. Um, I'm Giovanni Elliott. I'm a recovering narcissist. This has been an amazing transformation in my life, really, really, because it's a turning point. But I still have some ideas that is taking me longer to move on. Procrastination is a big thing for me. Is for me to procrastinate is a big issue because it
Okay.
has stopped me for so many things. But I want to change that. I really want to change.
Okay.
Oh, I love
Well, that's
that.
so wonderful. We'll jump into the procrastination thing. But what's fascinating, first of all, I love your humility to
Yeah.
admit that you're a recovering narcissist. How did you discover that that was an issue for you?
Well, I noticed that my life is has been always like at the age so I didn't my relationships or my personal relationships, it was where I was suffering the most, and I was living in so much pain, fear, anger, resentment, all those feelings that are not great, right?
Yeah.
And I was living in a defense mode,
Mm.
defending myself from everywhere, even where I didn't need to defend. Um, so the main key in my process has been my relationship. I got married in 2019,
Mhm.
and I think personal relationships is where you
Mm.
develop um, more issues. So as issues were coming along the way,
Right.
I was able to have the feedback of my partner, um, love, care, patience, and yeah, the understanding that we were together in this, and it was the first time in my life that I can say that I feel unconditional love.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, let me
Yeah,
let me repeat something for you because I think you just gave us the key to changing anything.
That's right.
Anything
Anything.
is
That is.
love,
Yes.
patience, understanding, and what else? What was the other one?
Unconditional love.
And unconditional love. And that's
yeah,
that's when we receive it from the
Mhm.
outside,
Yeah. No.
but also when we receive it from the inside
Yeah.
from ourselves.
Right.
yeah. Because I mean, it's sometimes it's a feeling that you don't have, that you don't, because all the mirrors that you have in your life, it mirror you back wrongly. So yes, it's to have the ability of stop um, being self-focused and start looking outside, looking. Um, it was a moment of start or stop defending myself and
Yes.
start listening,
Yes.
because there was that was one of the biggest issues, that I wasn't able to listen. I was hearing, I was
Right.
hearing sounds, but at the same time, I was thinking how I'm going to defend of this, and of course, I had an arsenal of tools of adaptations. I adapt
Exactly.
to different scenarios, and in one way or the other, I used to have what I perceive as success or stability, but not really. It was just superficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Holly Kim is going to give us a framework that we deal with everything with. We call the voices within, but let's delve into that a little bit and then apply that to the
Oh,
procrastination
yeah.
issue.
Well, and also to the narcissist.
Yes.
I could see it so well. Well, for us, the way we handle all issues, may we speak them externally or to who we're dealing with, or it's really who we get to love. It's not deal, it's really love, is who we have the privilege of loving, is that we take the self and we divide it into three parts.
Mm.
So there is my true self, who I really am, that is connected to the divine, that is all that is good. all that is love, all that is heart
It's the giver.
is the giver. And then there's a part of me, the second part of me is my wounded self. And I feel like a wounded child in it. It holds all my emotional pain from from the beginning to today. So if something happens and I get hurt, it like goes into that part.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all of these rocks in that bucket that haven't received all the love that it needed at the time. So let's just say we have somebody in our family that dies. Let's say I'm your sister and someone that we love dies. Well, you need 100% of love to kind of come back to your true self from that loss. I need 100%. Our mom does, our dad does, our other siblings, our aunts, our uncles, the whole family, right?
Yeah,
But
it is.
who's going to give it to us? We all need 100% of love. So let's say we're all able to give each other 20%. There's still 80% of that wound that needs love. But we're trying to get it, but it goes in the bucket. It's just nobody's fault. It just is, right? So we have this bucket of wounds in our life that have all these rocks that need more love, right?
Right.
So then that gets really heavy for the true self. So we create this third part.
The adaptations.
Yes, the protector that comes along and says, don't worry about it. I got it. I know what to do. So this part of me has one job, and it's to stop that bucket from rattling. No more pain. So when someone comes to me and says something that hurts me, it rattles those rocks, right? And my protector goes, excuse me, it is not my fault. Okay, did you see yourself? Did you see the way you were handling that? I don't think so. So it starts to defend me. Internally first, and then if necessary, externally.
Yeah.
And that's the part that you call, for me, that you call the protector, the narcissist. So there's Giovanni, there's the narcissist, and then there's the wounds of life. And for a long time, you also believed that you were the narcissist because he kept showing up to your life. He thought the person that you married was his partner, but it was your partner. He thinks that everything you own and have is his.
Yes.
And yes. And you made a decision that it's, no, this is my stuff. And you keep trying to defend things that a lot of things don't even need defending. And you're making a mess of things. And it's causing not only the pain that I already have, that I have to learn to love myself, that my true self needs to love to learn those rocks and those wounds. But now you're causing me more pain. My narcissist is putting rocks in the bucket too, because of the way it's handling things. Or it has my ears. Like you said, you were there, you heard, but he had your ears. Your narcissist had your ears and he was listening. So he was defending things.
Yeah.
And you took your ears back and you said, no, I'm going to listen to what's being said. And then you were able to also communicate and hear and receive the love because you took your heart back from him, from this part of you. And so the change is the separation of the two. Now, who's the procrastinator? The same one that's the narcissist. Because I would assume usually, this is not 100%, okay? But usually procrastination comes out of perfectionism. So if there's a part of me that feels like my wounded self feels like I have to be perfect for you to love me, then until I can get it perfect, I'm not going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Right. But how do I get it perfect? Well, at the last minute, it doesn't matter anymore if it's perfect or not. I just need to do it, right? So I take everything back and I do it. But then what happens is I beat myself up because I procrastinated so long and it caused more anxiety and more, emotional unrest.
Yeah. So let's delve deeper into that. So When did you start remembering that you began procrastinating? Has that been something all along?
Oh yeah. Very very little. It was there was a time in my life where I felt things will never change. Life is like, imagine that life is gray or brown. It was the filter that was in my life, and it doesn't matter what you do, nothing is gonna change. If you do it, it's gonna be the same. If you don't do it, it's gonna be the same. Just don't do it. And that part of the perfectionism is as well. It was hard because um, receiving criticism criticism, it was hard to take. So
Mhm.
sometimes it's better don't do anything if you're going to be criticized.
Right.
And because the critique is so much, it's like there was no validation, right?
Yes.
Right.
So that was what the missing part in
Yes.
that sense. So yes, I remember having those feelings of, I don't want to do it. It's not going to change anything.
It's not going to change anything.
It's not going to change anything. Yeah, and the criticism is be one of the rocks, right? Or maybe seven of the rocks, or maybe 200 of the rocks, or all criticisms, right? So this part says, why do it? Why do it? I'm just gonna get another criticism. And it's like, it's just gonna be another rock. It's just gonna make those 200 other criticisms and new criticism. Now I got 201 criticism.
Yeah.
So why do it? I only do it if I have to, and the pressure's high.
And you know what, it's difficult because the narcissists keep repeating the things in my head, or and because it's like it's a tape that is repeating, and hundreds of scenarios are created, and fights, and how you're going to replay a fight, or all those kind of situations are played in the narcissist's head. And what happened there is you are in your head, you are not connecting with the people, and is excess of self-focus. So
So
I see.
Yeah. So the question would be, you saying that it would play it over and over in your head, right?
Well, that's where he lives, obviously.
That's where he lives.
Yeah, that part of you lives in your head.
So if we just took Giovanni out of the picture, because you can see that clearly you're a wonderful man.
You got it.
And you have a beautiful spirit. But if we take him out of the picture and we just allow yourself to be 100% the narcissist, right? What is that part's agenda? What is its goal?
Well, the narcissist, or my narcissist, lives in the in self-pity. Self-pity is and that's a tip that I want to share with people who is listening. Listen the voice that you have in your head, and if that voice is a pity voice, you don't feel pity for other people. Why you feel pity for yourself? So it's not the same as compassion. So we have to change the feeling of pity for compassion.
So what does it tell you when with self-pity? What does it actually tell you? What do you hear?
Oh, well, the pity justifies all the mechanisms, or a lot of reasons. Is a justification for things, or why you did this? Oh, because I deserve, because I don't know, 100 scenarios it can be, but yes, it's a constant self-pity narration.
The part that's the self-pity, its agenda is to never be wrong.
Never been wrong, and get more, because that part of me is like, it's never enough.
It's
right?
never enough.
Never enough.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a journey of self-discovery and healing? Introducing A Roadmap to the Soul, a practical guide to love, compassion, and inner peace. This book offers practical tools and insights to navigate your inner landscape, release emotional blockages, and embrace your authentic self. Start your transformational journey today by getting your copy now. See the link in the description. And now, back to the lesson.
Right, because the wound was not enough.
And in that process, I get out I leave out the compassion and
Yeah.
another feeling,
Yes.
and
Right. The empathy, the compassion, the
empathy.
connection, the love, all the things that Giovanni is, all the things that your true self is. You can't even hear him. He
But
drowns him.
yeah,
He drowns
definitely.
him.
And
So it's like you're in a position and something's going on and you have all this love and compassion, but if he gets loud, if this part of
mm,
you gets loud, it's like, you should say about me. What about me? Well, do you remember what happened to me? I mean, come on.
yeah,
Why are you worried about him? What about me? Like he sees
me, me,
himself.
me, me,
Yeah,
me,
me,
me, me,
me,
me,
me,
me, me,
me,
me, me,
me.
me.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
that is the voice of the me.
Yes. That's
So
it.
you
I
got
got
me.
it, huh? Yeah, yeah. Because he's like, what about me? What about, wait a minute. Wait.
And you know what? There is some things that I noticed that culturally
Sure.
it was ingrained on me, and that I couldn't see it. For me, turning point, it was the ability to left Mexico behind
Yeah.
and grow. Like I finished growing up here in Canada, because honestly I felt like it's two different persons. My me before before Canada, and my um, me now. And
Yeah.
now I even myself, talking about those parts, um, I identify myself as Giovanni and Gio. Like Giovanni is a narcissist. Giovanni is the one that has all those wounds, that never were seen, because
Yes.
it's how life looked like to me. Like
Yes.
that was
Right.
normal.
It was
Uh,
a normal, painful life.
right.
Right.
And I was growing in resentment. I thought I was a depressed person. If I would know, I will continue my life thinking like, oh, this is depression, I'm just a depressed person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is an element of depression, but it wasn't all.
Right.
It was just
The
one.
heaviness,
The heaviness.
Yeah,
the heaviness
yeah,
of the sadness of the situation,
yeah. And the lack of hope, the
the
lack
lack
of
of
Lack of
hope.
hope. Yeah.
of
That's so good.
So,
the lack of having my own dreams.
yes.
Oh, because you can't dream when you're in survival. There
No,
are no
no,
dreams.
and I didn't know, I didn't know
No,
that
because
I
it's
didn't
it's
dream.
life.
All
This is
right.
it.
So I have a question for you,
This is so
Giovanni.
funny. Yeah.
You are having so much fun with me.
Yes.
I noticed your face, but yeah, I'm having so much fun. Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
so
this is
Giovanni, I
good.
want you to think about, say, a scenario with your partner when you are in defense mode.
Right.
You're
When the
in
narcissist,
narcissistic.
right.
You're hearing that part of
In
you.
your head.
Where in your body are you hearing that voice?
what in my body? Well, I felt the stomach. The stomach is one of the places where I feel I can feel it. It's like
Yes.
I can isolate it because I couldn't feel it before. I could, like, feelings is something real. Feelings are not
Yes.
just feelings
Right.
because
Yes.
So,
you
and when
feel
you
it.
feel that in your stomach, is it comfortable or uncomfortable?
No. It's like a burn.
It's a
Um,
burn. Okay.
but it's like electricity that roams from the center of my belly and towards my chest. And I know I used to think that was anger. Oh, I'm getting angry. And but is or maybe is coming from the same place, I guess. Or
All right. Well, all right.
Oh,
So the
so
second
good.
question would
So
be,
good.
when if you're with your partner and y'all have just a wonderful time together and you're feeling just love for your partner and there's no defenses and you're just communing and connecting with your partner, where do you feel that in your body?
I think in my chest.
In
My
your
chest,
chest.
definitely. I feel
Okay.
like you can breathe. I can breathe.
So
Yes.
you have those two things going on simultaneously. So you have that which is going in, that electricity,
Mm,
uncomfort in your stomach, and you have that which is going on
Right.
with your heart.
Right.
All right. So those are two levels of consciousness. There are two, like a radio dial. There are two different frequencies on a radio
mm,
This one's 105.3, the other's 99.5, right? They play different kinds of music, radically different.
Right.
All right. And so for example, if you're approaching a project that typically you would procrastinate,
Right.
what I would propose to you is that you can put your ears to hear what your stomach is saying, or you can put your ears to what your chest is saying. That they both simultaneously, but we have to deal with the stomach to get to the chest. That's what most people don't understand. It's almost as if you have this project coming on and you go to your stomach and it's like, we're not doing that. It's not going to make any difference anyway. It's not going to change nothing.
Yes.
We're not going to change. It's not going to do us any good. And all it's going to do is bring about criticism.
Right.
So let it go.
Yeah, why do it? Right.
And then if we can turn the dial after giving that voice.
After we hear that radio station.
We
Stomach radio station at 105. Now we're going to go to the heart radio station at 99.9.
And you get to that station and it says, this is a challenge and it's uncomfortable, but I'm going for it. And I know I need to do this for my self-growth. And I know I need to do this for what I'm called to do. And I'm going to muster up the courage to go for it. And even if I don't get all the feedback that I want, it's okay because I'm human.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be fine. And I'll deal with the feedback and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I think one of the things I can put it in words like, don't take the things personally. I had to learn don't take it as something that is painful. It's just information, and you use the information in the best way that you have it. It makes sense.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for that advice.
Well, it's so powerful too, is that you already, I can see why you say I am a recovering narcissist. It's so powerful because you separated Giovanni from Gio.
Yes.
You already did it. Yeah.
I didn't know about choices, each act is a choice. Each word that you speak is a choice. It's not coming just from nothing. So from there, I think it has been another breaking point, that to know that I have the choice, that I have the intention that I put in the words. Because I know that I can be, if I am intentionally mean, I can be mean. But there is no any reward there. So I don't go there. But now knowing that, that's just don't do it. I can see past opportunities to have an argument, and I just let it pass, because it's not about me.
Yeah, it's so good. So another question I have for you: in general, we all have challenges growing up. But if there's one thing that you wanted growing up that you didn't fully get, what would you say that would be?
What it could be? There's so many things, but I think the validation I think is a key element in my growing up, that it was missing. Parents think that giving you what they didn't have is good enough, or is they are doing their job. And this is not about blame. I'm
right. Fact finding. It's called fact finding.
Exactly. I'm thankful with what I had, with what I was given, and it's not to reproach anything, right? But at the end of the day, is I recognize that there were missing things, and that validation it was needed. When I was a kid, I wish to have that acknowledge that I have my own needs or my own wins,
All right. So let's just look at this for a second. Let's say you already said, the narcissist is Giovanni and your true self is Gio. Now, I would propose to you that Giovanni's narcissism is all about
Yeah.
getting validation and having his needs recognized.
Mm-hmm.
That's its one agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be validated. And then if you're not going to validate the way I want to be validated, I'm going to fight you for that part. And
Yeah.
my needs that haven't been
Right.
seen are going to be seen. My
Yeah.
needs, my needs, my needs. Now, that is, you
Real,
see,
yeah.
that is a very real thing.
Yeah.
Because
You ain't alone in this one.
narcissism isn't a disease that a person just chooses to be. Narcissism is based on a reaction
Yeah.
to wounds that have not been attended to.
Right.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that they did it on purpose.
It does no. It's just being
It's like
part of
you said,
human,
we don't
being part of
blame-
human.
Yeah.
And so if validation was really, really important and it was a high need and it wasn't fully addressed or fully given, then that becomes part of our coping behavior, which in this case we would call the narcissist. But it's really, that's its existence, is I need validation and I need to have my needs seen.
Mm-hmm.
I need validation. I need to have my needs seen. Well, your friends or partner says, well, what about my needs? It's not important. I need validation and my needs seen. And yet we can see that your Geo is very different.
Yes.
Very different.
Yes.
But we not only need to stop the behavior of the need for validation and my needs to be seen, but we also need to, as Holly Kim would say, we need to love the wound. We need to love the wound of the hurt of not receiving the validation.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Like first, yes, that's really true. The problem here was that I didn't see the wound. I didn't know that I was wounded. But like right now, in this point of my life, I can turn around and I say, "Oh, that wasn't normal. That you lived, that wasn't normal." But because we normalize so many things, and as I was just talking about cultural issues as earlier. In Mexico, we have the colorism. Is different that was slightly different than racism, but that is a key element in my narcissism, because it was the way that I was gaslight, because I believed my gaslight. I really believed that my life was different, and I'm talking about colorism because I grew up in a small town in Veracruz, in Mexico, which most of the kids were shorter, darker. So when you hear that the people around you, adults, not necessarily family, but people say things like, "Oh, you're gonna get married with a white person. You're gonna improve the race," or things like that. Phrases of catchphrases that we always say that we don't even think about it. But if you're a kid and you hear those kind of situations, and you see yourself and you say, "Oh, I'm more white than most of the other kids. I'm special. I'm special." So even though because it's not okay to say that you are special, you see yourself and you see as different. So that I say that because, or I really believe that was the one of the things that gave me the entitlement.
Wow.
Oh, that's so good.
That because now I recognize that neither color, race, or anything is, all humans are the same. We have the same value. But in that moment, because I didn't have anything that made me special from who should have made me feel special, I have to invent myself something that it was.
You had to figure it out.
Exactly.
Right.
So the narc or narcissist it starts like, okay, well, you are this because, or you are more handsome because you are more clear. And then the beer came out, and I was 15 years old, and I was the only kid in I don't know, in the school maybe that I had beer. So I had, and then I started developing the looks and the way I understand that if I read more, my vocabulary improved, and I was So I started noticing little changes that made me different or look different or sound different.
Yeah.
Just to support that
Right.
idea of the you are better because of this.
Right.
But yes, it was just based on the non-validation from
Yeah.
no only my father, my mom. I think if I'm not that that depth in the narcissism, is because at least I had my grandmother and my mom that showed me that I was lovable.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So
Yeah.
what
Mhm.
are one or two characteristics about Gio that's different than Giovanni when you look at those two things?
Yeah, I think I see, as Gio, I can see the conflict and just see it pass, and I'm feeling compassion, really. Like
Compassionate.
yes, I'm more compassionate. Definitely, it's like I can put myself. No, there's not compassion. I can put myself in other people's shoes. I can
Yeah.
understand that
Empathy.
they have
Yeah.
empathy. I can understand that they had a different experience in life, so their
Right.
opinions and their the way, the filter that they have in their life is different than mine, and it's okay. It's not in my previous personality type. It was like I wanted to be right, and I will argue until I get to the point, or I make my point stronger than louder than the other person.
So Gio is compassionate and empathetic, and Giovanni, or the narcissist, is competitive, needs to be right, and needs to dominate.
And noisy. Oh yeah,
And noisy. He's noisy.
Noisy.
I love it.
And that is, I think that is what I'm as a person. I not noisy, but yes, it was like I don't know.
If he has to be, he will.
If I have to show, if I have something new, because you know what, when I was a kid, I wanted to have phones, so I had the opportunity to have a phone with camera, and I was the only kid who had a phone with camera in my small town or in my school. So I started noticing that those kind of things, it makes me feel
special.
Special, and make me look special, and you know, so it was those kind of situations. The show off. It was needed. It was needed because I
needed.
Yeah.
But you know, now I think about some like clips of my life, and yeah, funny.
Yeah.
You just like,
so going back to the concept of procrastination.
Yeah.
If you were to give him a perspective or a tip on how to more effectively deal with that, what would you tell him?
Oh, well, one of the things I would say is there's a project or whatever you have to do, you know, whatever it is. God knows it could be anything, you know, is that folding, it could go from folding the clothes to doing a $1 million project, right? It could be anything. But for me, I would want you to know, first off, how does Giovanni want to handle that? And why doesn't he want to get up to do it? And then after you heard that, you know, just hear that thought, like whatever he's got to say, you know, and then we go, thanks for sharing. And then take a breath and then hear Gio, okay, this is what's in front of me, and how am I going to handle this issue or this project in front of me? And, you know, Gio may say, well, in 5 minutes, we'll get up and do it. Or he'll say, you know what, I'm going to put it on my calendar and I'm going to break it down into this. If it's a big project, I'm going to work 20 minutes a day on it, or 2 hours a day on it. If it's folding the clothes, I'm going to go have a treat, a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to fold the clothes, you know? But it's like to allow both parts to have a voice about it, but really naming them. So when Giovanni doesn't want to do it and he has 1,000 reasons why he doesn't, we say, thanks for sharing. Because he's special and he has somebody that's going to come do these things for him, right? And then there's you. and then there's Geo, and allow him, in between, after that's said, with a nice thank you and giggle, and then breathe, and then find out how Geo wants to handle this situation in front of him, and breathe and let it be the real answer that gets empowered. Because, one of the things that I want to say to you, Geo, is that you are totally not alone in this thing. I do this every single day. This is exactly how I help everybody, is I help them separate their narcissistic self from their true self and from their wounded self. Even though, as you said, we're all the same, but it can look very different on someone else, right? Someone else could be a screaming Mimi. Someone else could be a yes, yes. That's okay. I'll do it. Yes, yes. Versus I need to be right. So it's like everybody has that narcissistic self, that protective self, and some are socially acceptable and some are not. But they do not get us all the love that you shared. And they're not able to give the love of who we are. And it's not our true selves. So what I loved when you came on, the first thing you said, I'm a recovering narcissist, because you understand the separation. And, that is what we help people do, is really dissect the self with such loving and giggling eyes, because there are real reasons why that part of us gets created. And it's not a game, and it's not a blame. It's fact finding. And when any human being is in survival, there are no dreams. There is not time for any of that play. You have to find a way to protect yourself to get out of that survival situation.
Yeah.
You said it, and you said it. And, where this show really becomes for you is really true validation, and validation.
Yeah.
Powerful. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know where we were going to go, but I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah. I want to add one thing, and then we'll tell our takeaways.
Powerful.
But a psychological need is created from wounds.
Yes.
Of what was done and what wasn't done. So if I have a need for validation, that could be from not getting the validation that are needed, or getting the wrong validation. It could be a variety of reasons. But that becomes a psychological need. And then we also have values. And values are what we hold dear in the deepest part of ourselves. So, for example, you have a value to be a loving, caring, life-giving partner with your partner.
Yes. Into the world.
Yeah. And if you have a psychological need for validation, that the psychological need, if it's not attended to, will beat the value every time. It'll take precedent over the value every time. And that's why we need to do our work to deal with these psychological needs that have been created from wounds, because if not, they will take over our values and destroy everything that's important to us.
Right.
And so you have that dynamic. And so I'm really encouraged, like your boldness and your hunger to want to grow is beautiful. And I really believe that that's the reason why, as Holly Kim said, you can say today you're a recovering narcissist.
Yes.
You're not living in that anymore because of that. So I certainly honor that in you. But why don't we shift into what's going to be your takeaway from today's coaching?
Oh,
we're each going to answer
that.
Yeah,
I want to go. My takeaway, Geo, is that you have worked so hard, and you did not allow that label to take your life. That you found a word that made complete sense of what was happening to you. But in your heart of hearts, in your true self, you knew that is not who I am. It's something that's happening to me. It's something that I turn into, but it is not me. And you took it and you said, oh no, I'm going to love myself through this. And when you fell in the love, the love helped you love yourself to stop it. And even though he'll have a voice, yes, for probably till you die, he'll have his
Yeah.
little say, but that's okay because you know he's not you. It's just a
Yeah.
part of you that helped you survive. Thank you for helping me survive, Giovanni. But Gio's got the wheel now. So
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
You
Beautiful.
you you see the
Thank you.
world the way I see it.
Yeah.
I feel so
Yeah.
validated.
So good.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, no,
I
thank,
wrote a
thank,
whole
thank you
book
to
on this.
you.
Thank you.
And you can have me anytime. It's good to talk about this. I
Yeah.
want to talk more
Yes.
about this because part of my message is like take away the shame,
Yes.
because there is where the narcissism lives on shame.
Yeah.
Yes.
Break the cycle of pain,
Yes.
because this is just pain, emotional pain, and you're passing that pain to your partner, to your kids.
Yes.
Yes.
And so break break the cycle of pain. And yes, we have to understand that this is not something black and white. It has shades.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So good.
is like you are not, because you are a narcissist means that you're a bad person.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's something that I have to learn to stop defending myself, because I cannot take away the pre the ideas that people has in their mind. When I say, oh, I am a narcissist or recovering narcissist, they right away get scared and
Yeah.
get away. But they don't know what has been
Right.
Yeah.
in this process. But yes, is that's the message. If someone listening this show thinks that they are a narcissist,
Right.
reach for help. Being honest, and therapy is an excellent work.
Yes.
Life coach, like what we
Yes.
do is an excellent tool, and those are to be used, to be
Yes.
explored, and life can be different.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's going to be your takeaway from today?
Well, I have to put more effort in my good side, or to make the procrastination something from the past. Leave it
Yes.
behind, with the other parts that I have left
Yes.
behind. I think I will take it in that direction, to see it something from the past.
Yeah.
Oh,
My takeaway is going to be how well you describe the different voices of one you feel in your stomach and the other you
yes.
feel in your chest or your heart,
Yes.
and how different those two voices are, and that one of them, the chest or heart voice, leads us to really good things,
Yeah.
connection, productivity, and so forth. But the other one seems to destroy things that are important to us.
Yes.
But how to calibrate my decision making based on my
That
heart and more than my
You know
stomach.
what? Something important related to that is that I didn't know that I had them shallow emotions, because I couldn't feel so much.
Yeah.
I avoid feelings. I avoid
Yeah.
topics that where I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Um, so learning to feel, it was something life changing.
Yeah.
That people doesn't know how feelings feel,
Yes.
and I can feel it now. And is different. It's a different way to live.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about what you do. Give us a minute about what you do and how people can get in touch with you in
Yes.
case they'd like to get in touch with you.
Yeah, I have my social media is Gio in Toronto, at Gio in Toronto. Easy, no, nothing complicated. I'm Gio and I live in Toronto. Uh, so right now I'm sharing ideas in my social media, but you can get in touch through the message. Is an open page, or the inbox is open. Sorry. And yes, ask for help, and there is tools, there is techniques, there is things that you can learn. It's not something fixed. I think narcissism is something that people is just starting to understand, and voices like mine, like yours, and
Yeah.
there my partner is a therapist. So
Yes.
a therapist, like my partner is putting out a work of what we have done together, because I grew up because of him. We help each other in this process,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel fortunate that I had that I met him in this point of our lives, because he was transforming.
Yeah, so
Oh.
good.
Yeah. And, I want you to know, I know you know this, but I just want to validate you that we are all exactly what you said. We all have three parts. And like in our book, we wrote the concept that we use is called the voices within. Like that is our concept, that there's, we have these thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and that when they're all one, we always gravitate to the part of us that is not the nicest. And we just
Mhm.
label ourselves that and it's done, right? And so it's like you did exactly what we do, is you just started separating it, and when you start to separate it and be kind to yourself in that separation without the shame, Gio just kept showing up to the table. And Gio keeps showing up. Gio keeps showing, and he's more empowered, and he's more there, and he's more awesome and awesome and awesome. It's like, oh, that's who I am. So I just love it. I love your courage, and I love that you want others to see. So it helps them see there's no shame.
Yeah.
We can
There
take
is no
our
shame.
lives back.
Shame is stay where you are. Shame is hurting more people and hurting yourself.
That's right.
That is shameful. So
Yeah.
Yes.
bring it on, and
Yeah.
let's work together, and we have to heal as
Yeah.
an all. We are not islands. We are connected. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of power in the community.
Yes. So
Well, thank you so much, Gio. It's been a
oh,
pleasure having you as a guest
yes.
on
Oh,
Transform You. And we
the
want
pleasure
to
is
thank
mine.
Yeah.
everybody that for you all for tuning in this
Yes.
time. And until next time on Transform You, we say,
Have a voice. Don't forget to have a voice. I have a voice.
are you ready to embark on a journey of personal transformation and inner healing? Our intensive online coaching program is designed for individuals and couples seeking to reconnect with their true selves. Dive into our lessons, activations, live coaching calls, and educational readings tailored to uncover limiting beliefs, healing emotional wounds, and to cultivate a life filled with authenticity. Transform yourself, transform your relationships. It's time to transform you. See the description below to see how to join Transform You.